Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. We'll just wait a few more minutes till we have more people join. So please just wait patiently and we'll be starting in a moment. Oh, I see someone raised their hand. Does anyone have a question? No? Okay, well, feel free to ask any questions in the chat while we're waiting.
Okay, guys, I think we'll start. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to PTC's Hacker Tomorrow Hackathon. I hope you're all excited for this activity-filled weekend. I know that we are excited to have you here and see all the amazing projects you and your team will put together. This weekend will be filled with workshops, talks from guest speakers, mentoring sessions, resume critiques, and socials. We know that for many of you, this may be your first ever hackathon, but don't worry, as our team will be available throughout the weekend for any help or support you may need. And we will also be on Discord, so you can ask for any questions in the help desk channel. Most importantly, don't forget to have fun. The updated schedule for the weekend is available on Discord, and you're also able to sign up for mentoring and resume critique sessions throughout that channel. Even though you'll be working on a project with your team, we encourage you to meet and talk with other students who you're competing with throughout the different channels on Discord. If there's a certain channel that you would like to be created, such as a movie or a cooking channel, so you can meet other people who are also passionate about these hobbies, let us know and we will create it for you.
We highly recommend that you attend the guest speakers and workshop sessions because there are so many things that you could learn and apply to your hack and for your career. We have a lot of workshops throughout the event to help guide you and give you the chance to learn, because that's what this hackathon is really about: expanding your knowledge, meeting people, building something, and of course, having fun along the way. The schedule for this weekend is on our website, Instagram, and Discord. Any changes will be communicated to everyone through Discord and social media, so make sure to stay updated. At 8 p.m. EST tonight, you will all be receiving your case studies. From there, you'll have until 1 p.m. EST on Sunday to hand it in. You'll be able to submit it via HackHub, and the link with the instructions will all be available on Discord as well. On Saturday, we'll send out a link also on Discord where you can schedule your pitching time, which will work on a first come, first served basis. We'll send you a link to the judging Zoom calls where you'll be able to pitch your idea with your team on Sunday. Your pitch should outline your project and take less than 5 minutes.
Our event wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, so thank you to Elastic, UiPath, Centered, Wolfram, JetBrains, HyperX, Sketch, 1Password, Framer, DigitalOcean, Interview Cake, Lakehead University, Vision Investment Group, Magoosh, AOPS, Egghead, and Echo 3D. The links to the Wolfram One platform, the 1Password families, and the JetBrain professional development tools can be found under announcements on Discord. So with that being said, our sponsored Centered is here to talk about what it means to be in the flow and their flow groups that make it so much easier for you to do so. It sounds like a winning ticket to the hackathon for me. So they'll be providing us with flow groups throughout the weekend, and our first place team will receive access to their premium flow group. So without further ado, let's welcome Sammy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you so much for having me. I'm Sammy Gerasi. I'm currently in New York, and I would love to see where you guys are all located. So if you just put in the chat where you're located, and I also love to know if this is your first, your second, your 40th hackathon. So put that in the chat. So where you're from and what number hackathon you're on, if this is your first one or your 40th. So I am going to be talking about flow states and how you guys can all use that to boost your productivity and get you into work mode. And basically, our mission is to help people get their work done faster and also enjoy it more. So I'm gonna basically walk you guys through the art and science of flow states that we have. And can I go ahead and share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. I provided you co-host privileges.
Okay, awesome. So, okay, so I can, all right, give me a second here. All right, you guys can all see that, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so have you ever felt so absorbed in a task that you lose all sense of space and time, as if there's no distinction between you and the task itself? Maybe you're painting or running or even coding, or maybe you're reading. You were performing an activity that you love, and you became so focused that even the concept of you no longer mattered. So this is what is called a flow state. So flow states are a psychological phenomenon where you feel completely absorbed in the task, so focused that you lose all track of time. It's a state of high productivity. So you've probably heard athletes, musicians, and other artists talk about being in the zone, and you've likely experienced it yourself. I would love to see in the chat if you've ever experienced the flow state and what was the activity. Whoops. What was the activity? Sorry, my share. Can you guys just see you guys are like seeing now my chat here that I pulled up. Okay, here we go. Technology, here we go. So if you've ever experienced the flow state, and let me know what activity you might have experienced it. Maybe you were playing a sport, maybe you were playing an instrument. Let's see if I can actually pull up the chat here without pulling up. Nope, it's just gonna go. Okay, here we go. Anyone? Let's see. Toronto, Vancouver, New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey. Ottawa, Vancouver. Oh, Seattle. Amazing. It's your first one. Yay. Oh, wow. You guys are like global. I love it. I love it. Okay. So some of you have experienced it while coding, while drawing, doing your homework. That's impressive. I don't know if I could ever have gotten into flow doing my homework. A voice exam, that's cool. Painting, reading, drumming, yeah, total. Those are exactly where you would experience the flow states. So what Centered aims to do is to help you get into a flow state every single day and apply it to all types of work, what that you do on your computer. Okay, so in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share information about flow states and then show you how to make them a tool to help you get your work done faster and feel happier and healthier. So the term flow state was coined by Hungarian psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Yes, it's a Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Yeah, let's try to say that like 10 times fast. And he coined it back in 1975. And he wrote, "The best moments in our lives are not the passive, receptive, relaxing times. The best moments occur if a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile. So by interviewing hundreds of people in a variety of occupations, he discovered that the conditions that were necessary to get into a flow state. So Csikszentmihalyi originally became interested in painters who would work for hours without eating or resting. He realized their full attention was focused on a single task. And then American psychologist Abraham Maslow's concept of peak experiences inspired Csikszentmihalyi's research. Flow states are effectively an evolution of thinking on the topic. And Maslow also realized that people who reach this state not only enjoy the experience, they often lose themselves while engaging in it. And for Maslow, that meant dedicating yourself fully to your craft. As he wrote, if you plan on being anything less than you're capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life. So both men realized that happiness and attention go hand in hand. And this is something for all of us to consider in our chosen work. So this research into flow is particularly topical because our world has never been as distracted as today, with so much information and distraction technologies fighting for our attention. This distraction tech and its alluring content, and I'm talking about email, text messaging, Discord, even though it's what connects us, but it can also be a major distraction, Hacker News, Twitter, and so many more others. They actually have negative consequences on our mental health. And we've seen that as anxiety has increased, depression, and suicidal ideation. And there's also an impact on our personal relationships as well. So distractions are a major drag on productivity. Tasks that should take an hour, take 3, and the sense of completion one feels at the end of a workday never comes because our minds were focused on 1,000 things during the course of the day, right? Has anyone felt this where you just feel like you got nothing done, but you were just like, basically your attention was just spread around to so many things. Because of this, we're at our computers longer, yet actually get less work done. So flow states are our way to fight back and regain control of our days. And Centered was created to help you get into flow states quicker and stay there longer to be more productive, accomplished, and happier. So here are the 8 characteristics of a flow state. We've talked about artists, athletes, and musicians experiencing and channeling flow. But guess what? Flow states are universal and anyone can do it, as some of you have always already experienced it. And the same neurological regions are affected regardless of occupation, gender, or culture. And since they are universal, anyone can train to get into a flow state. So there are 8 characteristics of flow. And you don't have to experience all of these at once, just a few will do. So clear goals that are challenging but attainable. So like it has to be challenging, but still within your skill set. Focused attention, so no distractions. Activities that are intrinsically rewarding, something that you're going to be rewarded at the end. The loss of self-consciousness, so loss of self. Loss of sense of time, where it could be 5 minutes or 5 hours, immediate feedback from the activity, a balance between your skill level and the challenge, and the lack of awareness of physical needs. So I'm sure some of you, maybe like when you've been coding, you sometimes forget to drink water. Okay, so it's easier to enter into a flow state when engaging in an activity you love. The more you train, the more easily you will be able to slip into a deeply focused mindset. Flow states have a feeling of attainable transcendence. The more time you spend monotasking, the more productive you are. Multitasking, or really multi-switching, has been shown to drain your cognitive resources while making your work take longer to finish. When you sit down and open your code base, you get lost in code instead of having your attention stolen by constant notifications. So flow states are possible for the poet and their poem, the architect and their blueprint, the engineer and their code, and the group huddled around a whiteboard and their equation. So Csikszentmihalyi recognized that people can train to be in flow states, and this inspired us to create Centered. In fact, flow is no different than any physical exercise, where proficiency and master come with repetition. Fortunately, since it's an activity you love, the repeated practice won't feel like work. If it does, then flow honestly isn't likely to happen. So another condition that research shows encourage flow is music. How many of you listen to music while you code or do your homework? And sometimes it like really helps the mood and the boosting, right? So here are some interesting facts about music and flow. So Johns Hopkins neuroscientist Charles Lim used fMRI to examine the brains of improv jazz musicians and freestyle rappers. And Lim found that when musicians improvise, their prefrontal cortex is deactivated. And since flow is fluid, shutting down the PFC reduces the second guessing that will slow down the process of getting into flow. Another thing about flow in music is that the type of music you listen to matters. So when getting into flow, you don't want to pick your favorite music or songs that you might hate. There's too much emotion attached to it. Also, you don't want music that's too fast or variable, loud, or lyrical. It's distracting. And the ideal tempo is 60 to 90 beats per minute, which decreases neural activity. So we took all this into consideration, and at Centered, we feature over 100 hours of original flow music specifically produced to help you to get into flow. So that's all within the app, and I'll show you guys all that in about 2 minutes after I just finish this. So according to research, it takes between 20 to 22 minutes to get into a flow state. As computer scientist Cal Newport has noticed, knowledge workers tend to check emails or social media every few minutes, which makes it impossible to even achieve flow at this point, which is why he recommends time boxing his email and limits opening his email client to once per day. So flow states has been shown to help people feel more accomplished, satisfied with their work, and reduces stress. People who get into flow more often also report greater life satisfaction. This is in part due to their shifting perception of time. So rather than existing on empty nutrition provided by the constant hamster wheel of dopamine hits of social media, texts, and emails, they're able to spend long periods of time absorbed in one task. And at Centered, we also build breaks into the workflow itself. So research shows that workers are more effective when regularly taking breaks. While you don't want to interrupt flow, when you come out of a flow state, taking a few minutes to stretch, walk around, or do a breathing exercise recharges your nervous system and prepares you to head into another task. This is especially important for people who sit at their computers for long stretches of time. Even like taking a quick break, looking away from the computer screen for a few seconds can actually do a lot for getting back on task. And if you can take a moment to get up and stretch, do a few squats, I highly recommend it. And also drink water too. Okay, this is the last slide. So if you have any questions, you could put them in the chat box and I'll answer them as soon as I open it back up and look at them. But here's the deal. So we know how stressed the world is right now, right? Wasting time on social media and checking in on other distractions is taxing and depleting. So one way to feel better is to flow. As with anything in life, it takes practice, but decades of research has shown that not only is practice worth it, it's part of the journey. So the reward is the satisfaction you feel when emerging from a flow state. And honestly, it's kind of magical. So are there any questions? Let me take a look. Stop my share. Let's see here. Any questions? In the meantime,
Yeah, I think there's a question.
what is the most effective way to flow on a beginner's level? Okay, well, the obvious answer is to come over and join us in Centered, and we'll help you get into a flow state. But really, pick an activity that is challenging and monotask. So you want to be completely focused on that task. You want to make sure that you don't have any distractions. You really want to just be able to focus in on that one single task. And music does help. And actually, this will be a great time. I can show you what centered looks like. Let me just pull that up for you guys. Okay, so this is the centered dashboard. So there is a simple task management. You guys won't see this calendar, that's only in my version. But we have a simple task management system, but basically, okay, so you'll line up your tasks for this session. And then really simple, you'll just click this Get Flowing button. And another window is going to pop up, and we call this our flow state machine or our mini player. And this is really where the magic happens. We do ask, we do say, we do recommend to keep your camera on because it provides some co-working accountability and also adds to the energy of the community. But if you rather work with your camera off, that's totally fine. You can choose no video or choose an avatar. And then you would start flow.
Ready to dive in?
And that voice is Noah. He's our flow coach, and he's going to be guiding you through your session. He'll be giving you time reminders. He will be giving you nudges if you get distracted. So if I hopped onto Twitter right now, Noah would ask me, do you really need to be checking your Twitter at this moment? So he keeps you on track. And we do default to the Pomodoro technique. Has anyone heard of the Pomodoro technique? So it's you work for 25 minutes, then you take a break for 5, you work for another 25, and then you take another break. So we do default to that. However, if you like a longer or shorter workflow, you can customize all of that within the player. But as you can see, we have our music down here. I have it on silent right now, so it's not distracting you all. But we offer here's all the music playlists that we offer. So ambient atmosphere, if you're into sound bowls and chimes, it's very soothing and calming. This list is for you. Global beats is going to be a little bit more upbeat, worldly rhythms. Old School Centered is just a playlist that we have from version 1. Himalayan Dream Rain is our nature soundscape. It's actual rain recorded from the Tibetan mountains. So if you're into that, into nature sounds, that one is for you. And then the last one, Sonic Caffeine, that's going to be high energy, really upbeat. It's perfect for low energy moments and where you need to get a lot of work done. Okay, so the other thing that I mentioned is taking breaks. Now, breaks are crucial. You don't want to be sitting there for hours upon hours without taking a break. So we've built breaks into our workflow, and you can break it'll break every 25 minutes, or if you want again, a shorter workflow or a longer workflow, you can adjust that here. But if you're ready to take a break, you take a break.
Give yourself some gratitude for the work you did.
And, this is the time where you can take a short look away from the screen just to adjust your eyes. And then we do have this awesome breathing exercise.
Notice how good it feels to breathe. When the circle expands, breathe in. When the circle retracts, breathe out. Repeat this twice more.
So this is a little breathing exercise that you can do on break, and then you're ready to get back into it.
Welcome back to your task.
Oh, I spelled hackathon wrong. Okay. So, and just to give you guys a little taste of the music, that's Global Beats. Here, let me put on Sonic Caffeine. So you guys could code to something like this, right? And as you can see, here are all the people that are in flow right now all around the world. It's nighttime, so that's Jerome Hardaway. He's in charge of the organization called Vets Who Code. It's a really awesome organization. But yeah, that's pretty much centered. Let me see if there were any other questions here. Yes, we are providing 1 month of Centered Premium for everyone. And actually on Monday is Centered Free, and what sort of music would you suggest to promote flow? Okay, so all of the Centered basic features are free. So the basic level is free for everyone to use, and honestly, that it's quite a bit. Centered Premium is $10 a month or $80 for the year. And like, who mentioned it? Well, just the Project Tech Conference, we are offering 1 month of Centered Premium to all the participants. And then also for the winners of the hackathon, we'll get 6 months of Centered Premium. On Monday, we're releasing a new version of Centered, which is going to have a Spotify integration. So if you prefer to play your own music, you'll be able to do that. There will also be a Google Calendar integration, and then actual co-working breakout groups will be available on Monday as well. So as a premium member user, you'll be able to create and host. So if you just wanted to have like a study group with your friends, or for future hackathons, you'll be able to just have it exclusive, an exclusive group just for your friends or the participants in a hackathon. All right, did I miss any other questions? What sort of music would you suggest to promote flow? So basically, you want music that is between 60 and 90 beats per minute. You don't want any lyrics. You want music that is not too varied. So it sort of has like a repetitiveness to it. And, you know, it's really anything that is around those lines, you know, so it's like no lyrics, based on beats per minute. And as long as it's, you know, not too varied. So it could be classical, it could be lo-fi, it could be jazz, you know, as long as it's like pretty steady. And it's, you know, it's not too distracting, but it just like gets you in the zone. All right. Any other questions? Device availability. So, okay, so you can download the app from centered.app right directly from our website, and we have it available for Windows and Mac. We also have a web version available, but I do recommend download.
Halfway through this task.
There's Noah reminding me that I'm halfway through the task. And actually, let me end the flow session because it might mess with my internet. Yeah, so you can download it for Mac and Windows, and it's also available through any web browser as well. All right, any other questions? Well, I want to thank you all so much for having me. I want to wish you all so much luck this weekend. I hope you can get onto Centered and try it out during the hackathon, and let me know how it goes for you. If you guys have any other questions, if you guys have any feedback you love to offer, we always love feedback because we're always looking to improve and change as much as possible just to serve as many people as possible. So let me know how it all goes, okay?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sammy. We really appreciate it. This presentation was really insightful. And I think I can speak on the behalf of myself and everyone else here that Centered is a must, especially in today's society. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. And have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. Hack away.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, now that you all know how to get into the flow, we'll tell you how to program your idea. So our next workshop will take place on YouTube at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. So feel free to grab a drink or a snack and get ready to learn. I'll send out the link for the YouTube premium in the channel. So make sure to get onto YouTube and get ready to watch our How to Program Your Idea workshop. And if you have any questions, please ask on the Discord channel. And remember that the cases will be getting released at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So see you all soon. Bye, everyone.